A research team is leaving Los Angeles tonight bound for the South Pole. The scientists are worried by a mysterious, massive hole high above the ice.
Nobody predicted this. It's like a bomb falling out of the sky.
The ozone hole changed everything.
The ozone issue was extremely personal.
Skin cancer, cataracts.
We were all doomed if we lost the ozone layer, so there was real pressure to get something done.
It is clear to us that climate change is an issue that we must face up to.
Climate change costs society economically.
And yet, president after president, whether it's energy policy or climate policy, has not solved the problem.
So I ask this Congress to send me legislation that drives the production of more renewable energy in America.
I want to make this quite clear. This bill is an energy tax.
There are going to be big winners and big losers in this bill.
I think it's really important for members of Congress and the administration to hear people say that they want this problem solved.
A long-sought multi-nation agreement aimed at safeguarding the ozone layer. That agreement finally has been achieved.
What the international community did to come together to solve the ozone hole was a perfect model for climate change.
Even now, man may be unwittingly changing the world's climate through the waste products of his civilization. Due to our release through factories and automobiles every year of more than 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which helps air absorb heat from the sun, our atmosphere seems to be getting warmer.
As we look back to what presidents have done in the last century, we went all the way back to 1965. Lyndon Johnson, who, as far as I can tell, was the first president whose science advisors said, "We have a problem." His science advisors said that by the turn of the century, 2000, climate change could be veering beyond our control. And yet, president after president, whether it's energy policy or climate policy, has not solved the problem.
The great question of the 70s is, shall we surrender to our surroundings, or shall we make our peace with nature and begin to make reparations for the damage we have done to our air, to our land, and to our water?
I know that it is not easy for the Congress to act, but the fact remains that on the energy legislation, we have failed the American people.
We all know that human activities are changing the atmosphere in unexpected and in unprecedented ways.
The vast majority of scientists have concluded unequivocally that if we don't reduce the emission of greenhouse gases at some point in the next century, we'll disrupt our climate and put our children and grandchildren at risk.
The United States is committed to strengthening our energy security and confronting global climate change. And the best way to meet these goals is for America to continue leading the way toward the development of cleaner and more energy-efficient technology.
To truly transform our economy, to protect our security and save our planet from the ravages of climate change, we need to ultimately make clean, renewable energy the profitable kind of energy. So I ask this Congress to send me legislation that places a market-based cap on carbon pollution and drives the production of more renewable energy in America.
There is a pretty unholy alliance between the electric providers who are burning the coal industry that is mining the coal, and the railroads that are shipping the coal from the mines to the power plants. They all are very invested interests. They have a lot of influence in Washington, and they're the ones who are opposing tooth and nail any action on global warming.
You're looking at 50% of our electricity, coal. It's the fuel that powers our way of life.
Clean coal is an advertising slogan. It's not a thing. I mean, it's something that was cooked up in a focus group by the coal industry as a way to sell coal. They needed to give people the idea that this is not your grandfather's coal industry.
Now, thanks to emissions-reducing technology from GE Energy, harnessing the power of coal is looking more beautiful every day.
There is no such thing as clean coal. When you look at the life cycle of coal from the moment it's being mined and the devastation we're seeing in places like Appalachia where they're blowing up the tops of mountains, when you look at the burning of coal and the mercury pollution that's contaminating every lake, river, and stream in the country, the 22,000 people a year dying from air pollution associated with coal plants, there is no way anyone with a straight face can say that such a thing as clean coal.